$400,000. Yeah, that's the reality. Citizenship, guys, as you know, or may not know if you're watching this video, price of Turkish citizenship has gone from 250,000 to 400,000 USD as of June of this 2022. There's some positive with that. There's some negative with that. Obviously, the negative being the price difference. The positive being is that 250 in June couldn't really buy you what you wanted anyway. So this is just a correction that we've seen around the market, as we've talked about in some of our other videos. The prices in Istanbul are continuing to rise. There's no decline in the foreseeable future. There continues to be demand for the program from outside of Turkey. A lot of countries at the moment coming in: Iran, Russia, Ukraine, even from United States, England, Germany. We're still seeing a big uptick in clients from these regions. So, for the foreseeable future, this is the program. I don't see the Turkish government backtracking and going at a lower price point. In fact, it's quite possible that in the future, the price point goes higher. Turkey has been absorbing quite a lot of immigration over the last 5 or 6 years. So what do they decide to do? Do they want to stem some of that immigration and lower the volume, or will they keep it where it is and kind of maintain status quo to keep things moving forward with the program? We were anticipating that we would see quite a significant drop off in sales when this announcement was made. And we have from some regions, the Pakistani market, the Indian market, some of the Southeast Asian countries, and even some of the Arab, especially the GCC countries. So we've seen some drop off from these countries, but we've seen uptick in other nations, like I said, U.S., Russia, Ukraine, Germany, these places, because I think that it's opened the market up to a new type of buyer. It's made it a little bit more exclusive, and it's made it a little more select. It's no longer the buy a 1-bedroom or 2 1-bedrooms for 250,000. Now it's, you have to see a range of options to see what you can find at that price point, because at 400,000, if you choose the suburbs, you can go from everything from a villa around $500,000 to an apartment in the city center in a high rise for these prices. So you get a wider range of options for the citizenship value. Couple of things to note. We've talked about the residency in our past video. There's been some changes, but I want to mention in this citizenship video that those regions that you're seeing are closed for residency. That does not mean that they are closed for citizenship. So if you are a citizenship investor, if you're planning to spend that 400,000 USD, you can come into the market and look into those regions as well. Maybe even that's ideal. The reason I say this is because if it's closed to regular investment, if it's closed to regular residency investment, there's not going to be a large range of buyers, meaning price point is going to be kept more reasonable, because obviously we know that the demand, it's all about supply and demand. So if there's not a greater greater demand at the lower levels, then there's going to be a price drop off to increase the demand, for the buyers and the citizenship value. So that's something to take a look at. But I did want to make sure that you guys understood that those areas are open. So when you're doing your research, you're doing your homework, understand that those are available to you, and you should see options in those areas. So, resales now have become even a little bit more difficult. We do offer resales, and we do have resales that are available for citizenship, but it does even take more diligence than what it did in the past. And that's just because we need to be able to declare the 400,000 USD. So, some obstacles, but it's not impossible, and it's definitely something that you should explore. So that's the major update. What does citizenship get you? I think as the making of this video, which is November 2022, you have access to 136 countries. I think that, especially a lot of these folks coming in from other areas that want to travel into Europe, travel into the US, investor visas, etc. You have more options, you have more flexibility to get into these areas. You've got banking, you've got housing. These are freehold properties. 99%. There are a few leasehold properties that offer citizenship, and that's something that we'll talk about in a future video. But the market is open. This is your property. This is you have access to schooling, to healthcare, to universities. So you have these same services and treatments that you had when the price point was $250,000. You still have them at $400,000. So there's not a drop off. There's not a lack of options and availability. So let's go over the rules just one time, very quickly. Property, multiple properties, must equal 400,000 USD. Title deed declaration must be 400,000 USD. Okay? That is the main criteria, just like with the 250,000 USD. Once that's satisfied, we're going to file a certificate of conformity on your behalf. That's proving that the price paid is 400,000, that the declaration value is 400,000, the money was transferred. That's you. It gives us the certificate, placing that 3-year hold on your property. As you know, you have a 3-year hold on the property from the time that the certificate of conformity is issued. We get that certificate of conformity back from the Turkish government. This takes on average 2 to 3 weeks. When there is backlog, it can take a little bit longer, but I'm just giving you what our anticipations are at the moment of filming. 2 to 3 weeks. We receive that certificate of conformity. We receive your documentation. Check out, I'll link the Citizenship by Investment page that tells you the documents that you need to have in the description. So please take the time to hit that like button, click subscribe, follow our links, follow our traffic, follow our social media so you can stay up to date with the latest changes. Once you go to that citizenship page, you can see the documentation that's required. As long as we have the documents required, completed and ready, we will then submit the residency application for the main applicant. This can change if it needs to be, like there's specific circumstances where you're going to stay and you're not going to move, etc. Okay, we can apply for the entire family. Normally, we only apply for the main applicant for a cost perspective, just to save you some money if you're not going to be here. Once we receive back that investor residency, this takes, again, 2 to 3 weeks. Once we receive it, then we move forward with the citizenship application. There's a couple of things that you need to know about this citizenship application. You can do a name change when you're filing your citizenship application. For example, if you're coming from somewhere in Southeast Asia, or let's just say you didn't like the name that your parents gave you, then you have that opportunity to change it up. Okay, so that's something that you can anticipate, plan for, not plan for, whatever. It's available to you. Once we get the go-ahead, everything's good, we file the application. On average, we're seeing 3 to 4 months. There is still a backlog from the initial rush of citizenship applications towards the deadline of the 250. They're working through that. They're clearing that. 3 to 4 months for citizenship. Once you have it, we can schedule an appointment for fingerprints either in the country that you're in through the local Turkish embassy or consulate, or you can do it here in person. Once we do the fingerprints, then it's on to the passport. Passport then will be issued within about 2 weeks. So from start to finish, from property acquisition all the way to citizenship receipt, it will take an average of 6 to 8 months if your documentation is ready. If your documentation is not complete, is incorrect, needs changes, this timeline can change. But again, if you check the link that we're going to include, you'll see the exact documentation that you need, the exact authentication that you need. Once that's completed and accurate, then and only then can we file that application. So this is the biggest responsibility that you, the buyer, has, your documentation. We can tell you what you need. We can tell you the authentication you need, but ultimately it has to be done in your host country. So please pay attention to that, understand that. We'll help you through the process. We'll take care of it. Now, lastly, Prime Property Turkey offers you an in-house legal team. We will handle your POA, your power of attorney. That's for submitting the citizenship, residency, etc. on your behalf. We can include property management in that if needed, if you want it. We can include banking. We can include any specific subject that you want us to cover for you in-house here at Prime Property Turkey. We can take care of it at that point. Our legal team is here to guide you, assist you, and we have control over the process. So we have a fail-safe system where you don't just have to come to Justin. You don't just have to come to Peter. You don't have to just come to Omran, Pasha, whoever. You come directly to us, you go directly to the legal team, and you've got 2 forms of verification. That way you know that we are answering you as quick as we possibly can. We won't make you wait. We won't make you question. We won't make you wonder. We're here to get this done for you as fast and easy as humanly possible to make sure that this process is enjoyable and is done correctly. That's my big thing. We will take care of it from the beginning to the end and beyond. Thank you for watching the video. Please again subscribe. Until next time, Prime Property Turkey out.